Hey everyone and welcome back. Thanks for tuning in again. I'm Sasha and today we're talking about three things. First, I give you an update on my TC8 SD shaft drive prototype chassis. Second, I'll show you why we won't need these little shims and washers anymore in the future, so we can basically throw them away. Once again, I'm making an STL file available for what I believe is a really useful 3D printed part. And third, I need your help, because next week I'm running my first VTA race and I'm really going to need your tips for that. So let's jump in and take a look at everything step by step. I'd really appreciate it if you watch the video all the way to the end. Stay tuned and let's get started. See you in a second. Hey everyone, today I've got another crazy idea for you. It's no secret, I absolutely love shaft drive cars. After my tests with the TC4, I really got back into it, and now I can't stop thinking about converting the TC8 the same way. So far so good. This is what everything looks like right now. I've already machined and built a few prototype parts, some of them milled and some made with a 3D printer, and I'm really excited about it. To be honest, I underestimated how much time this would take. I thought I could get it done pretty quickly. But unfortunately, the current regulations kind of threw a wrench in the plan. Things just don't fit the way they used to, mainly because the geometry and overall design have changed so much. Now, let's take a closer look at everything in detail. I'm really glad you're here. Let's take a look. For the very first tests, I'm using parts from the carton T410. Once everything is working properly, I'll of course switch to Tamiya parts. The blue isn't exactly the same, but it's the closest match available. So what does it look like right now? Obviously, there's still a lot of modification needed. The single arm steering setup is in the way here. I'm fully aware of that. I'll replace it with a solution from 3 Racing. But overall, this is what the final layout will look like. And the good news is, the basic concept already works really well. As I mentioned, there's still a bit of play in the system right now, but that's absolutely no problem. We can easily eliminate that later. At this stage, it's all about proving the core idea. Now, while working on this, I noticed a few things that unfortunately make the whole project a bit more challenging. Let's take a closer look at one of the parts I've 3D printed here. It's honestly fascinating what you can create with 3D printing these days. I'm using a Bambu Lab A1 printer. It's an entry-level model, but for my needs, it's more than enough. I'll quickly show you what the part looks like while it's being printed. You can clearly see the support structures underneath, and up here, you'll notice the temporary support towers that are printed along with the part. Here you can see the center-mounted drive shaft holder with a transmission gear. Unfortunately, this setup no longer works as is. The spacing between the bulkheads on older shaft drive touring cars is slightly wider than on modern designs. Because of that, I had to modify the differentials a bit. Normally, the spacing here is about 5 mm wider. To make everything fit, I reworked the differential housing, removing some material and repositioning the bearing further inward. That way, the differential now fits cleanly between the bulkheads, exactly where it needs to be. I've removed our custom 3D printed part here, just so you can clearly see the issue. This right here is the modified differential. By the way, it's from the carton T410, but structurally it's identical to the Tamiya TB and similar platforms. The good news is it runs perfectly. Everything spins smoothly, no issues at all. And I was honestly really happy that it worked right away on the first try. Now here's the problem. Because the spacing is narrower, I can no longer install this bevel gear at a true 90-degree angle. You can see it yourself. If it were positioned here, it would technically work, but the drive shaft would run at an angle, which is obviously not ideal. So how do we solve this? I already have a plan. I'll try to find a smaller gear with fewer teeth, or possibly attempt to 3D print one myself. That does make the whole project a bit more complicated though, and realistically, I won't be able to finish this by next week. Because of that, I'll shift this project to the summer. There are a few other projects coming up in the meantime. But honestly, I'm really excited about this. This is going to be a lot of fun. As I mentioned before, I already have a solution in mind for the steering. The rest of the setup shouldn't be a problem at all. I'm really curious to see how this turns out, and I hope I can present something really clean and exciting for you guys over the summer. We'll definitely keep working on this. So, what's next? This is actually a common problem with pretty much all touring cars. There's already a solution for everything out there. I didn't invent anything new here. Whenever you want to shim the lower suspension arms, you usually have to loosen the screw, dig everything out, add a thinner or thicker washer, then somehow not loose the screw while everything shifts around. And of course, this always happens during race day. That's stressful and honestly not very enjoyable to deal with in the middle of a race. That's exactly why I designed and 3D printed something new again. What you get is a file with 4 different thicknesses, ranging from 0.5 mm up to 2 mm. You simply slide them in place, no disassembly needed. Hopefully the camera is focusing properly here. This makes it really quick and easy to adjust ride height. And what's also great, if you like experimenting with axle tilt, especially on the front axle, this works beautifully. You can run a thicker spacer in the front and a thinner one in the rear, or the other way around. That gives you a lot of additional setup options that you can change within seconds. The file comes in STL format. You just load it into your slicer. It doesn't use much material at all. Printed at 100% infill. I'm using my usual glass fiber reinforced filament. Even when you tighten things down, it doesn't deform. If you use regular PLA, there's a chance it could get compressed or squished over time. So I'd recommend using a higher quality PLA filament here. I link the file as always in the comments or in the video description. If you like this, feel free to leave a like. By now there are already quite a few files I've made specifically for the TC8. If you're interested, I can also put everything together in a separate video and release it all in one place. So yeah, that's it for now. These are the parts. Use them to make your setup changes faster and easier. Just small, fun little tools that make everyday RC life a bit simpler. Have fun with it. Now we're already at point number 3. Next weekend I'll be racing my very first VTA race, and I'm planning to run the Associated TC8. I already got the body from my brother, and I had to modify the body mounts a little bit to make everything fit. The tires seem to be from HPI. I borrowed those as well. When it comes to setup, I honestly don't know anything yet. So maybe some of you can help me out with a few tips. Please just write them in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. One thing I've already noticed, once the tires are mounted, they rub here and they rub here. So I'll probably need to install wider wheel hexes to fix that. I'll definitely share the results with you, and I'm really looking forward to your suggestions. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you at the track.